Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Torbjorn map guides. Today we're on Numbani, as suggested by many people. I've got Josh here again, and he's going to be playing Reinhardt, and we'll jump into the first spot. Once again, there'll be aerial images throughout this video showing the spots in a bit more detail. There will also be an Imgur album link to all the pictures for people who want to have a better look at them without having to go through the video. Also, I'd just like to mention that a lot of the spots in this video aren't your conventional spots. I've purposely missed all of the really obvious spots that everybody uses in-game, so I'm only showing you the ones that are a bit more novel. So, the first spot is just up here, and in this little gap here, you're just going to place a turret. It's pretty simple stuff. It's pretty obvious what this turret's going to do. It's going to shoot at people coming out of their spawn, and while it might not last that long, it's a good way to slow down the enemy team at the start of a game and give your team a bit more time to make a proper setup. Slight variation on this point is if you run around here and place a turret just over here. This turret isn't going to do much damage, but it's going to catch the flankers off guard a bit, and you should be able to get a cheeky kill or two. Once again, it probably won't last that long, but it's a nice hidden spot that'll get a couple of kills. Quick note, for all these spots you probably want to pick one of the three and set them up at the start of a game, because once the game starts you're probably not going to be able to set them up again. So they're probably a one-time only use, but they're definitely worth trying. This third spot, I recommend placing anywhere along this circle here. It's going to cover a fairly wide area, and it's guaranteed to shoot anybody who's going to make it to this line here. The only downside to this turret though is that it's probably pretty easy to peek from their spawn rooms down there. If they've got a hit scan weapon or a rocket like Farah, it's going to be gone pretty quickly. But as I said, these spots here aren't designed to last long, they're only supposed to be here for a short amount of time to give your team a bit of an advantage in the later part. So now that we've got the spots that focus on their spawn room out of the way, we'll start looking at this first point here. Oftentimes the enemy team can flank around this side and cause a bit of a pain, so if you drop down here and place a turret on this little grassy knoll here, this spot here is going to do a good job of catching the flankers off guard, and if the rest of the team is making a push through here, it's going to slow them down considerably. It just means that you've got one less entrance to the point that you have to worry about, meaning that you can focus on the main area out here. There'll be a couple of aerial images up on the screen right now showing these spots in a bit more detail. So if they've pushed past the first point, it's probably a good idea to set up a turret that's just going to damage them while they're making their way to the payload. If you place your turret on the right set of stairs here, it's going to damage people as they come down this long stretch of road here. Josh, if you would care to demonstrate. So it's going to damage them, and this spot is good because it's pretty well covered by the stairs. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see, and the only part that's actually showing is the top part, meaning that it's harder for them to hit it. It also covers around here, into that doorway there, over onto this side, and up on that walkway there. This next spot isn't going to cover much of the main route, but it's going to cover a large flank route that people like to come down. If you place a turret down in these bushes here, it's going to cover this whole little flank area here, and it's also going to cover a tiny bit of the main path there. As you can see, the range goes out pretty far, and it's going to be shooting at people from behind as the payload comes through here, so it should be able to do a fair bit of damage before it gets picked up on and taken out. But its main strength is being able to shoot at people as they come around this little area here. So, this next spot here, you can run along to here and jump over onto this platform, and if you place down a turret, it's going to do a great job of holding off the enemy team while they're trying to push to this point here. It is worth noting that the turret won't shoot through this yellow sign right there, meaning that there's a slice that people can stand in and not get damaged. So once they've made their way past this checkpoint here, you can head over to this little garden here that's very densely populated by plants, and you can kind of sneak a turret in right about here-ish. As you can see, this turret covers an area pretty much from the top of that little crest there, and it's going to cover a wide range around this side here. And it's incredibly well hidden. You can barely even see it because of the bushes behind there. And it's going to do a lot of damage before people even realise where it's coming from. Also, I just noticed that where Josh was standing, the blue line wasn't actually there. This spot here is great if you want to be stealthy with your turret, however it only covers a small little slice of the area, but it'll still do a fair bit of damage. And as they round the corner onto the final point, you probably want to set your turret up on this final area. I find that placing a turret just here behind this tree is an excellent spot. Placing a turret here is an excellent spot because it's covered by a lot of this tree here, even though it'll continue to shoot through it. It's well hidden, much like a lot of the other spots, and it's going to cover this entire final courtyard area and a fair bit of this walkway here. So as Josh just demonstrated, it's pretty easy for you to sneak up behind it and destroy it, so you might need to watch out for that. Up on the screen now, there'll be a couple of aerial images showing these spots in a bit more detail. These next couple of spots require a friendly Mei to boost you up here. If you have a Mei that can help you up here, it's definitely worth trying these out. Boost me, Josh! For the first point, you can place the turret just down here. The turret up here is not only well hidden, but it's going to cover this entire courtyard area, as well as the surrounding areas up there, up here, and down here. Unfortunately, the turret doesn't have range that goes past this zebra crossing here, so anybody with a gun that can make long distances is just going to be able to easily pick it off. So be careful of that when you're using this spot, but definitely try it out in-game. So this next spot is a good spot, but it's very hard to get up here. You're going to need a Mei that has a lot of time to spare to try and get you up here because the jump has to be pretty much perfect. If you break this railing here and get a Mei to place a wall as far to the edge as possible, you should be able to jump. Try that again. Oh, there we go. So you've got to be really perfect with your jump in order to make it up here. But once you're up here, you can place a turret, build it up, and try and stay up here for as long as possible. Once you're up here, you probably don't want to get down because you're never going to get back up again. But it's very good for covering the people as they come around this side here. A variation of this bus spot is if you head over to the bus and get a Mei to boost you up. Here, you can make your way onto this platform and place a turret about here, between his shoes. This turret's going to cover people as they round this corner here and cover this area down here. So you've got two turret locations that is going to cover both corners here. It's really your pick on what you want to do with it. For the third time, there'll be some more aerial images up on the screen right now. And that pretty much wraps it up for this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. I've got plenty of other guides like this on my channel, as well as some other stuff. Thanks to Josh for helping me out with this video. Leave a comment down below telling me what map you'd like to see next. I should be coming out with another Sweaty Saturdays guide this Saturday, if everything goes to plan, although it might not. And I have another bonus video that I'm editing currently, so you should be able to enjoy that. And that's pretty much it. See ya later.